It is a sunny, busy New York morning. The streets are packed with pedestrians. The city is noisy, vibrant, lots of things happening all around you. As the three of you gather outside of Vinny's Diner, a diner that its Yelp ratings are, they're middling at best. Its main claim to fame was that it had Vinny's Diner about 2 years ago laid off all their kitchen staff and replaced them with a decommissioned fast food robot that they had bought from Carl's Jr. when they went out of business. And so this is a Vinny's Diner, but Vinny is actually a robot that does all of the cooking. It's very consistent, just not incredibly flavorful. It's for that reason, there's usually tables available at Vinny's Diner. And when you arrive at Vinny's Diner, there's a few people there. As the door chime rings, as the three of you enter, you can see immediately apparent is Jessica Williams, a manager at the New York Transit Authority. She stands up as you enter. She's got a booth already by one of the windows. All the booths are by the windows. She waves at you. Hey, guys. And she waves for you to join.
I'll look surprised, and I guess I can't refuse.
Did any of you guys call her?
I don't even know who she is.
I thought you did.
She holds up her phone. I just got a text that I was supposed to be here to meet you.
A text from whom?
I don't recognize the number.
Well, it is the number.
She shows you her phone, passes it to you.
I'll write it down. I'll make a note of
it. The number has too many digits in it, suggesting that, well, go ahead and make a skill check on
that. Which kind?
Your choice. She looks over at you. Mason, it said there was something urgent. Something has happened. Is this related to what I heard from the office from last night? The excitement from last night? The number, James, as you copy down that number, the number has the same suffix as the number that contacted you through your laptop that should not have been able to contact you through your laptop. Like an IP address that's bounced through many VPNs.
Okay.
Jessica looks over at Mason.
I'll tell Jessica I have no idea why that would have contacted you. We were just getting, breakfast after work.
It said it was very important that I was here. I don't understand. She looks over at Spencer. I don't think we've met. Who are you?
I'll stick my hand out. My name is Spencer. I'm a consultant. Newly joined.
Consultant? That's odd. She
Mind
sits
if
down.
I look at your phone?
She looks over at you, James. He's okay?
It's okay. Yeah, he's with us.
All right. She passes her phone over to you.
This could be about the people that were replacing these boards or tampering with these boards on this these gates that we keep getting roadblocked.
Oh, yeah. I this morning I had heard that there were some technicians talking about how that some of the transit authority officers, they didn't name you, but it must have been you, that claimed that someone had unauthorized access to one of the gates, but they were saying that that's impossible. I haven't heard of any. We've had some attempted vandalism a few months back. There's someone that drove a cargo van into the side of one of the gates, and there was a little bit of damage there. But aside from that, we haven't had any major events. It's really surprising. Spencer, you get root access to her phone.
Okay, I just want to see where where this message originated from. If it was from like a server or another cell phone.
Go ahead and make your check. You're able to trace down there actually have been a number of communications from the whatever server that's being used to relay these messages. As you search through the directory of the phone, having root access to it, you can pull up the call log. You can see that whoever it is that's been sending this has been sending it from somewhere local, and they've been directing her over the past several months to be at certain locations.
Okay. Do you know when the first time you've received these messages?
Right before I joined the New York Transit Authority.
I've noticed that they've been contacting you the last couple months to, looks like, directing you places.
She kind of adjusts her blouse,
hand
motions
back
for
her
the.
phone.
She takes her phone back. Thank you, and she motions to one of the servers. Can we get some coffee around here? Hey, coffee, all right? She looks at the three of you.
Yeah, that works.
Water for myself, please.
Oh, sorry. One water, three
up all
coffees, Mason Black, I assume. Nothing in
Yes,
your
please.
coffee. I figured as much.
Strongest you get.
The coffee arrives. It's reasonable. The water comes. It's the glass is
Questionable.
mostly clean, you'd say,
Okay.
but it's cold, and there is that. She starts in saying, "Yeah, well, I've learned that these messages that I received, they're from someone that seems to have my best interest at heart. That always has come with a job offer, or I've been in the right place at the right time. So I've kind of learned that. I mean, they've told me that you were coming and that I should provide some assistance, that I could trust you," she says.
And have you had any of these messages come through not on your cell phone?
Well, I did get
On
one
other
on my
devices.
work computer once, just once.
And that should be a fairly secure computer.
As far as I know, I'm not much of a techie, she says to you.
Okay.
She sips at her coffee, peers out the window of the diner at the pedestrians walking by.
Why would you trust a random phone number that just keeps feeding you information?
Well,
How do you know it's legitimate and they're not trying to, trap you?
I thought that too. It was a concern I had. But, well, I don't want to bore you with the details, but they were able to provide some proof that they knew about my background and what I was looking for. They've been helping me find answers to questions that I've had for a long time. Whoever
What
they
you
are.
looking for?
I'm looking for answers as to why my brother was killed in an accident that should never have happened. And why his death was ruled as, he fell asleep at the wheel at a car accident, but he was there just monitoring an autonomous vehicle. He wasn't actually driving.
While she's doing that, I want to see if there's Wi-Fi in the area and look up any files I can on her brother.
Okay. It's not hard. With her last name, you can search out quickly and you can see a report, head-on collision on one of the interstate highways between two autonomous vehicles. But the one fatality was her brother. And the news report said that it was he had overridden the autonomous vehicle commands, had taken control of it, and then had promptly gone directly head-on into another oncoming transport that was also autonomously piloted. There was some questions in the report as you read the news report and scan through it. The fail safes were all disabled, and not just disabled on one, but it turns out they were disabled on both vehicles. One of which did not have a human operator on, but the one that her brother was on did have. It was him. He was the sole occupant of the two vehicles, and he was killed, pronounced dead on site.
And this check was just for, I am talking to, was it Marcus? No, what was my AI?
Ooh.
Oh, that's right.
Marcel? No.
You decide, of course.
It was
We
my
did have-
brother's
Oh, it was
We did have
Marcus.
a name.
I think it was Marcus.
Marcus. So that's me trying to be quiet talking
Got
to Marcus.
In your head. All of a
In my
sudden,
head, but
your stomach.
maybe slipping out like things like thank you or like
Spencer's stomach growls loudly. He's suddenly hungry. Clay, or I'm sorry, Mason. She shares this with you. It just
I wanna
doesn't make
make
sense.
notice.
I have lots of questions.
I'm going to do a notice check to make sure that it's valid. I don't think she's lying to me.
Oh, okay. So you're just looking for tells that she may be telling the truth or not?
Yeah.
When she speaks about her brother, Clay, or Mason, excuse me, when she speaks about it, you can see the trauma in her eyes. Her eyes kind of well up a little bit with tears as she mentions her brother. It's still a sore spot.
Okay.
The door chimes. The bell rings. Two gentlemen enter the diner. They stand out. They look... well, they stand out. They don't quite look like the rest of the patrons.
I'm gonna reach into my pocket and take out my trail mix that I had. Well, the few bits and bobs I have, like a ration in my pocket. I want to start snacking on that.
So you crunch through that protein bar. It's chalky. The waitress comes over, sees you eating the protein bar. Is he want to order, or is he just bringing his bag lunch? She says in a thick New York accent.
We'll order.
Yeah, I'll take some
All right.
flapjacks.
She, a
Yeah,
little
same.
data pad appears in her hand. What'll it be? Flapjacks, you said? I didn't quite
Yes,
catch
please.
that accent. Flapjacks? All right, got it.
And some bacon.
Bacon, got it. And she starts taking your orders. How about you, soldier? She says, even though you're not actually wearing a uniform. Mason?
Corned beef hash, please, ma'am.
Got it. Good choice. And you, miss? Jessica says, coffee just for me. I'm fine. All right, then. Coffee it is. She returns. You can see her transferring the information from her data pad to the kitchen robot, begins to make the food. These two gentlemen in what look like, well, high-priced Wall Street style suits, really nice, walk into the diner. They look around. One of them's wearing dark glasses. They sit at the bench, the diner bench, on the stools. They both motion for the server, and she goes over to talk to them.
Far enough away that we don't think they're going to hear us.
They're talking to the diner. It's not super quiet. It's also not
Okay.
very large.
Jessica, do you know these guys at all?
She
You know who these guys might
freezes
be?
as she sees them. Her eyes widen. She says, "No way."
No way, what?
Not
Her
being the
hand
brightest
starts
one.
trembling, holding her cup, her white porcelain or the white china cup. You know those coffee mugs that everyone has, the white ones. It starts to quiver a little bit. She puts it down quietly, or as she does, it kind of rattles a little bit. She nearly spills it as it hits the table. Oh, I'm sorry. I Thought I recognized someone.
Well, tell us who they are. Don't make me go ask them.
She starts to speak. Then there's a knock on the window directly outside where you're sitting in the diner. As you look over, you see another man.
Jump a little.
This man looks like this. As you look over and see him, fine suit, silk pocket square, beautiful tie. He's wearing a bit of an overcoat. You can see a chain there from some like a pocket watch sort of thing. Very fancy looking. He lifts open his coat, and appearing in his hand looks like an MP5. He points it directly at the window, and the window explodes as bullets fly in. He's spraying your booth with bullets.
I'm going to hit the deck.
Yeah.
Let me do this.
Yeah.
Tuck and roll.
If I didn't hit it before he started shooting, I definitely hit it when the first bullet went through the window.
Okay.
I want to know if I recognize them. I'm going to kind of look these people up and down.
Got it. Let me just see. Get this going here, guys. Sorry about this.
My time on the run, I've dealt with a few of these guys. I don't know if these are the same.
Okay. Perfect. I should have had this ready. My apologies. All right.
I think this is the first week we've had everybody here.
Yeah.
It is.
It is. Okay, let me just have to. Oh, I did that wrong. Dang it. Okay. There we go. With this. Okay. There we go. Okay, let me share this with you. Thanks for your patience. Everyone can see the map?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
Okay. And let me just get this back up.
Yes, Kitty. What can I do for you?
Okay, let's just do this. Menu. All right, excellent. Spencer, you're right next to that window. You see that gun come up and the finger tighten on the trigger. Bullets explode out the muzzle, shattering the window.
Okay, I am going to try to leapfrog to go up and over.
Yep, go
The
ahead.
chair behind you, yeah.
Athletics.
Athletics.
You stumble as you get into as you land awkwardly on the other table. You fall backwards. Your back hits the table,
Okay.
scattering the ketchup and other little accoutrements at the end, like a mustard and ketchup and other stuff at the end of the table near the window. Your feet up in the air, but you're out of that direct line of fire. Sergeant Mason.
I'm going to do the same thing up and over behind me.
Excellent. You jump out of over the booth divider into the other area.
Yeah, and I want to draw my pistol as I go.
Excellent. As you land in that booth, you can see the two men in expensive suits that had just ordered have now turned. They're standing up. Both have pistols appearing in hand. One of them points directly at you, Sergeant, and fires. You recognize a Desert Eagle in his hand. The large caliber shell fires at you. Here it is. It hits. The damage, let's see here. Oof.
Big hit.
It hits, shaken. You feel that impact. It knocks the air out of you underneath your vest that you're accompanying to wearing underneath your equipment. Nevertheless, they are still attacking. The other one, he also stands up. He moves a little away from the booth, pistol in hand, this time a Glock. He also shoots at Mason. Firing away. Also hitting at this short range. It's hard to miss. Oof. Shaken. You were already shaken. Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay. Excellent. After those two, we have Dr. James Wright. Bullets flying all over the place. Now, two shooters behind you. You have good line of sight to them, but of course there's one outside that's still shooting into the booth here. Jessica's screaming and diving for underneath the table.
All right. I'm going to dive that way.
Yep.
I'm actually even going to be prone.
Got it.
As I go prone, I'll take out my gun.
This one here,
That's
still firing
sure
in. He's spraying in this area, just destroying everything in this booth. The bullets are continuing through, smashing into the server that was in this area here. Has ducked behind the counter as all of the dishes behind get shattered by stray bullets as they enter in, destroying this all the cups and plates and such that have been piled up from the dishwasher right there. It's a serious hit. Okay, James, who just fell prone, grabbed his gun.
Oh, that's interesting. We're doing the initiative.
Yeah, I know we don't usually in our
well, no, I was
in-person
just saying
game.
it's like refreshing. I was expecting to stay in the same order. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and shoot one of the guys at the counter. Let's try that there.
Ooh. Okay. Notwithstanding the did you have him
I could have done I was supposed to do the combat one.
Yeah, it didn't work.
So
go ahead and do damage with a raise.
Well, I could roll the combat, right?
Yep.
I just did the shooting skill. I guess it's the same.
You have to do it from your yeah, that's it. We're dealing with the shortcomings of the system. There it is. Now it did it.
There we go. That's why I didn't do it.
Yeah, you just hit the wrong area. Go ahead and give me damage on that. He falls back. The round hits him in his expensive suit. He spins around, falls to the ground. Excellent.
I can move though. I'm gonna crawl half speed.
Okay. Excellent. The guy outside has sprayed and destroyed everything there. There's no targets around. He moves here. As he moves, you can see he drops the empty magazine from his sub gun, pulls another one from inside his coat pocket, and seats it into the gun. Spencer, you see this happening right outside the window as you're laying on your back on that table.
Okay.
Okay. Did Mason go? I don't think Mason went.
I'm at the end.
You're at the end? Okay.
Spencer didn't go either.
No, it did something strange.
It just went back to the beginning.
It killed the guy who went to the start.
Oh, that's my fault.
So
it should be Spencer.
Yeah.
Spencer, go ahead.
Okay. Seeing that, I am going to roll, duck, and crawl.
Okay. Go ahead and make your skill check. Excellent. You scramble around. Nothing motivates quite like a guy reloading a submachine gun right outside a window and pointing it at you. So you roll off the table and scramble over Dr. James Wright, who's got a pistol in hand, over to the corner here.
And I am going to be looking for somewhere where they could maybe store chemicals.
You can.
That's where I'm heading.
Okay. Excellent. This guy here, seeing that there's fire coming from Dr. James Wright, switches his aim. The heavy pistol in his hand swivels towards you. Now, James, you are prone, correct? So we need to adjust that. And let's just quickly do that. That's not it. Oh, it's been so long. My apologies, guys. Let me just see if I can find it. Nope.
Oh, just to add prone to me, you mean?
Yep. Go ahead and look at it. It's under effects. Okay.
You just still
Got
sit
it.
in the same booth.
Okay, so we're on this guy here. He's aiming at Dr. James Wright. The 50 cal goes off again. This time, the bullet just smashes into tiles right around where you are. He misses. So Mason, you can see that he's fired, but thankfully not at you. Pistol in hand.
I've got two things that's shaken on me. I know I can use a Benny, but that wouldn't take both of them.
Yeah, you should just have one, and and you can't have two shaken. So so the second shaken would have given you one wound, is how that works. So so you're still shaken. You have one wound from the previous shot.
Okay, I just put it on. I put a Benny on it, and it said it got rid of the wound, I think, but I used it to recover shaken.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
I don't know.
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So I fire back at this guy.
Let's go for it. You hit him. He's out in the open. You got a clean shot. Ooh. Wow. You hit him. Center of mass. Blows. You can see blood splatter behind him as the bullet passes clean through. He drops his heavy pistol and it falls to the ground. Oof. I don't know why he didn't do the blood splatter, but he should have. Mason gets out of the booth.
Over here.
Okay. You can hear the sounds now outside. Sirens. man in the outside drops the gun that he had just reloaded and disappears from view. Rushing across the street. I don't know that anyone would see that. Okay. Dr. James Wright.
Okay, well, I guess I am going to. I'll put my head out above the table just to see if I can see anything, and I'm gonna move to Jessica. Well, I'll get up and and crouch, and then
Yeah,
move
you
over.
see Jessica
Sure, she's
hiding
okay.
there underneath the table where the chewing gum has been plastered. She's got her head over her hands over her head, kind of ducking down. It's been super loud with all this gunfire going off. She's shaking
All right.
slightly as you come up to her.
All right,
Okay,
just make sure she's okay.
we don't need this anymore. Okay, so Spencer.
Well, I don't know that they're gone yet, so I'm going to go back here and look for something that I can build a smoke bomb with.
All right.
Build duck behind the counter.
Yep. You can see there's a server there. She's one of the staff. She's cowering on the far end of on the ground. Her back to there's a number of supplies over there.
And I'll
Go ahead
yell
and
at it.
go ahead and make your notice check as you're looking for chemicals that might be of use. As you look around, you can see just basic window cleaner, a few rags, some disinfectant, but not a lot of material in this space here. It looks like it's fairly empty. You do see there is a shotgun underneath the counter, in a bracket that's just kind of hidden there, but the server didn't make any motion towards it. That shotgun is right here, just underneath the counter.
I'll kind of look at her and then look at the shotgun. Like,
She looks
I'll ask
terrified. Her eyes wide. She looks over at you, just shakes
in
her
my
head.
native tongue if I could use the shotgun.
She has no idea what you just said. She just looks at you puzzled. Her hands still covering her ears because of the gunfire in small, enclosed space, unsuppressed gunfire. Incredibly loud.
I don't know that they're gone, so I'll be making my way that way towards the shotgun.
You're scrolling towards her. Okay. Mason.
Walk over here and just jump over the table.
You jump over the table just in time to see the guy across the street jump into a black SUV, and then that SUV the tires smoke as it starts to squeal away.
Looks kind of identical to what we saw the other night.
It does look the same, yes.
Okay. As it leaves, I'm gonna just make sure, look at the two guys that are on the ground and make sure that they're not moving.
Okay. Neither are moving. They're expensive suits sitting on the tile floor, puddles of blood creeping out from underneath them. Dr. James Wright.
All right, I'm gonna ask Jessica if she's okay, and it seems like they're gone.
She's still somewhat shaken. She looks over at you, James, eyes wide. She nods. Yeah, I'm okay.
All right, I'm gonna get up. I'll stand up anyway, and I'm gonna head over to the people on the floor.
Okay.
That's it. I'm gonna say, "Where is Spencer?"
Spencer.
He's
I'm
I
gonna
don't see him.
pop out
I don't see him.
from that behind the counter with the shotgun.
Yeah, and then yeah.
He's got a sawed-off shotgun in his hands. There's two very expensive suits on the ground with blood kind of pooling out around them.
The guy that has his finger in the trigger guard not knowing really what to do.
Yeah. Okay, Mason.
Mason's going to get down off the table and then just do a check. See where the bullets hit. See if I'm bleeding. I'm assuming I'm bleeding a little bit. Probably a little like
Okay.
sore underneath the vest.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
See if I need to go to a hospital.
As you inspect, your hand comes away bloody. Definitely been hit.
Sorry. All right. Well, that's not good.
Jessica notices that she gets out from underneath the table. She walks over to you. You've been hit. We should call an ambulance. She pulls out her
they're on
phone.
their way.
As she opens up her phone to try to access it, she's like, "What? Oh no!" She starts jamming, like, putting her manicured fingers against the screen, trying. What? It's not working.
I'm gonna pull my phone out and see if my phone's working.
You pull out your phone. Miraculously, even within the firefight, the screen is still more or less, or the cracks on the screen are the same ones that you've recognized from that other time. But as you go to fire up the phone, completely unresponsive.
Interesting.
James.
I guess I'll try mine. Everybody else is having problems with their phones.
You find the same thing. Your phone comes out, completely dead. Completely unresponsive. When you go to turn it on, nothing happens. Spencer.
That was the work phone. Up on the
Okay.
personal phone.
I was watching everybody looking at their phones really weird. I'm gonna look for a phone in the diner.
On the back counter, you can see there's the diner phone. It's an old cordless, looks like an ancient Panasonic cordless sitting there on the desk.
Perfect. I'll pick it up and try to.
You get a dial tone as soon as you turn it on.
I'll phone 911.
Voice answers on the other side. You can recognize it's an AI. All of the 911 dispatchers in New York were replaced by AI, large language models, about 10 years ago.
Darn AI.
This is what's your emergency?
Police officer shot at the diner on
Vinny's diner, yeah.
6th and
Okay.
whatever. Yeah.
It answers. Stay on the line. Emergency responders on their way now. And then starts asking you to describe what the situation is around you. Okay, so it's doing that. Spencer's on the phone. You can see the rest of you see him. He's speaking on the phone. The other server is up, and she screams as she sees the two dead bodies, or the two bodies, dead or not, two bodies on the floor right next to James Wright. Mason.
Mason is going to go over to the bathroom.
Yes.
I'm assuming it's one of these.
There, you can see that one has the men's, or I guess it would be women's first. That's the women's bathroom. And then over here, you can see the men's.
Okay. I'm going to stash the hard drive that I have in here somewhere.
Okay.
Which is probably wiped, but I'm going to stash it up under the sink somewhere. Grab paper towels and just try to jam it in the pipes or something.
Excellent.
And then while I'm in here, I might as well check my injuries.
Yeah, you've been hit in your side. You're bleeding somewhat, although from your experience, your combat experience, it doesn't. You can make a common knowledge check for me, please. Oof. Hard to say. Definitely going to need medical attention.
All right.
Okay. After Sergeant Mason, Dr. James Wright.
I'm gonna go ahead and check the people that are down. If
Okay.
they actually are still alive or passed on.
Make a notice check for me, please.
Okay, this is gonna be without the +2.
Correct.
So -2 on it. Oh, actually,
Yes.
it's still -2, right?
As far as you could tell, they're both dead. Neither are breathing, both wearing expensive suits. Their firearms on the ground nearby their bodies.
I'm gonna check the closest one to me for an ID.
So you look into his pockets, you come out with a very fine looking leather portfolio wallet. There's no ID in the wallet, but there is $1,000 cash in the wallet, all hundreds. On his hands, you can see some gold rings. His shoes are easily $500, fine leather shoes.
All right, that's it for now.
Okay.
I'll check the other guy when it comes up.
Spencer.
Yeah. I'll put the shotgun back because I don't really need it. And see if these waitresses want to get them to step outside. They don't
Just
need to be
direct
in.
them to go out. This is the exit. Here it's just the countertops that lift up, so that they can go out. And they go from Spencer, you want to leave them right outside the diner? That's where you're heading?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay, excellent. So
I'll stand with them.
You can hear the sirens getting louder as emergency responders come. The first NYPD unit is arriving on foot. They're rushing down the street. They would have probably been on patrol nearby. It's a busy New York morning. They're running by. There's a crowd of onlookers that are around pointing and looking at the smashed out window where this guy, one of them, he didn't actually shoot through the second one. There's police officers rushing your way, Spencer, as you stand there with the two serving staff. Okay. After Spencer is Mason.
Okay. Mason's going to come back out, go all the way up to the bodies, and ask James if he's found anything. Yeah, James, what's on these bodies? Have you checked them out yet?
The first one here, right at your feet, there's no ID, just money in his wallet. That's it.
That's
I
weird.
haven't checked the other guy.
All right, we got to do that before these cops show up.
I got his
No,
wallet
move-
right here. Just
Move up and start checking the other guy.
Okay, go ahead and make your check.
You just want to notice check?
Yeah. It just looks like he's wearing a ruined suit. Looks expensive. He also has some cash on him, not quite as much. All $100 bills. This time only 5 of them. He has them in a cash clip. The cash clip itself looks like it's gold. He has one other thing in his pocket that at first you think maybe a spare magazine, but when you pull it out, it's definitely not a magazine for the pistol he had. The one you're checking had the 9mm. As you look at this, you can see it's just a featureless black stick. It's light, like it's made of some kind of polyurethane, some kind of hard plastic. But it doesn't. Its function doesn't look. It doesn't seem to have any function at all. It has no ports on it. It has no status lights. It's just like this hunk of plastic.
I'll be right
Neither
back,
of these
Chris.
guys had
Yes, of
cell
course.
phones.
My next round, just I'll be looking for anybody in fancy suits watching this place.
Oh, okay, excellent. Sorry, go ahead, Mason.
Yeah, sorry, don't think I noticed that.
Okay.
Neither of these guys had cell phones.
You're looking for cell phones?
Yeah.
They don't even have watches on. They have no electronics whatsoever. Even their firearms. They don't have red dot sights on them. They have no flashlight. They're just bare bones. In fact, as you look at those firearms on the ground, they're early generation firearms. No smart tech on them at all.
James, I'm going to take this away from you and see. We're going to see if your phone starts working, and I'm going to walk out the front door.
Okay.
Mason walks out the front door just in time to see that there's some units, NYPD units that are they're coming in or approaching. You can hear the sirens as medical responders also on their way. They'll be here within seconds. James.
I'm going to try my phone.
It still does not respond.
Okay. I'll head out as well. I'll get Jessica and we can head out.
Okay. You and Jessica leave.
Outside.
Spencer's already outside. He's out with the staff. The other patrons here have all fled as well. As soon as the coast was clear, anyone else that was in the diner, not too many, they've also left. Spencer's and Jessica are outside as the NYPD arrives. You can see one of them's already on the radio. He's on his radio. He's talking to dispatch. His partner it comes up to you and asks, "What's going on? Who are you? We got a call. There were shots fired." You can see he's got his hand on his pistol in its holster. He has not unholstered it.
We're with the transit authority. I can reach for a badge, but I don't want you to draw on me.
No, don't reach anywhere, he says as he gets up to you. I'll check for it. Which pocket is it in?
Right pocket.
Right pocket. Are you? He goes through the protocol. Are you armed? Where are you? Like what he's asking you questions. His partner's on the phone or on the radio the whole time, calling for extra units to secure the area. Investigative team to arrive. He then, the one that's checking you out, notices we've got a gunshot wound here. Dispatch ambulance. We need paramedics. So that they're taking these two seasoned NYPD officers are doing their best to control the situation and get it all locked down. While that's happening, Spencer is checking to see if there's anyone else in the area as he looks around for expensive suits. Now the problem is this is morning New York City, downtown New York City. You're going to have nothing but suits, it seems. There's business suits as far as you can see as the mass of pedestrians move by, many of them stopping to gawk at the scene. Nevertheless, let's see what he does. Nothing really stands out to him as he's looking through the press of humanity. There was that SUV that Mason saw speed away, but other than the two bodies inside, there's no other sign. Spencer, no other expense. Well, lots of expensive suits around, but none of them that seem to be giving any particular
Nothing
attention.
that stands out.
No, it's hard to say though, because this has been such an event that there's already people out there looking with their cell phones out, recording everything they see. Okay,
That's my
excellent. All right,
all right. You have
Dr.
already rolled it.
James.
Okay.
I'll give the officer the rundown of what happened.
Okay. All right. Well, stay here. And they, as soon as other officers arrive, they enter the cafe, pistols drawn, to go and see. They call out, clear the room, call out that there's two bodies, and by this time, paramedics arrive and they start administering first aid to Mason. Mason, over to you.
I'm going to attempt to put this black stick like in my boot.
Ah, you just slip it into your boot. Okay.
Yeah, I'll roll the stealth checks and see if no one notices.
Excellent. Everyone seems to be focused on other areas as you slip that into your boot. Surprisingly light. Okay. After Mason is, we'll go over to you, Spencer. Jessica's there. She's very nervous. She keeps trying her phone, but it's not responsive at all.
Can I take a look at your phone?
She hands it over. She says, I don't know. It was just working. You just looked at it before, and now it's not working at all. I can't even get it to turn on.
See if I can not do anything.
And just like she says, it's just this inert piece of glass and plastic and metal. It doesn't seem to respond at all. James.
I'm gonna look into the diner again and see if there's any like TVs are on or anything like that.
In fact, as you poke into your head into the diner, you can see there's a cracked flat screen behind the diner, and it's on, although a stray bullet has hit it, so it's kind of spider-webbed around. But it's running a local news thing, and they're just now saying breaking news. There's been reports of gunfire at Vinny's Diner on 45th Street, and we'll bring more news to you as soon as we have it. And then they switch over to the weatherman. It's definitely on, and it's working.
Okay. Well, so the TV works, but the phones don't. That's weird. Okay.
Specifically your cell phones.
Just cell phones, yeah.
So far. Okay, Mason, as you're sitting on the back of the paramedics bus there as they're patching you up. So you're going to have to go to the hospital.
Oh, I mean, it doesn't look like it's that bad.
Well, you should get it checked out. There could be internal bleeding. They go through the normal thing where they somewhat talk down to you. One of them, though, as he's patching you up, he takes a second glance at you and says, you serve?
I have, yes.
Oh, what branch?
I don't know if I have that written down.
Obviously, you're a ranger or something.
Yeah, I wrote it down, I thought.
It says Ranger.
Okay, Ranger. Yeah.
That's what I thought, yeah.
No kidding, he says. No kidding. I served a couple tours myself, he says. I mean, nothing as fancy as you guys. But yeah, he's like, well, it's always a pleasure. Well, let's get you patched up, he says. And he whispers over, it looks like he's in quite a bit of pain. He kind of winks at you. I'll give you a shot at the good stuff.
No thanks.
All right. Suit yourself.
I don't need the good stuff.
Suit yourself, he says. No problem. So so what happened? He kind of asks for the rundown of what happened here. You see there's some other police officers now that have arrived. Other units have arrived. They've got a couple bodies in body bags that they're wheeling out from the diner. And the forensic unit is now starting to drop little tent numbers next to the multiple brass casings that are on the sidewalk from where that submachine gun went full auto right in front of the cafe.
Did he not drop that?
He did, yeah. And they've got there's some officers there that are, they're taking pictures of the gun that's just been dropped on the ground, as well as the empty magazine that was also dropped. All right, where did we end off? Oh yes, so Spencer.
It's weird that the phones aren't working. I'm gonna see if my phone's working.
You pull out your phone. Nope. Doesn't turn on.
I'm going to try to find a power bank to see if I can hard boot it.
Okay. Dr. James.
I'm going to see if I can find the waitress. before it gets too crazy.
Yeah,
I wanna
they're
ask
you can
her if
see
she
two
has the
waitresses. They're standing near one another, both of which are being interviewed by NYPD to get their statements.
Well, when one of them is done, I'm going to ask them if they have a cell phone on them. And I want to ask them if it works. Still works.
She looks at your eyes kind of narrow. She tilts her cell phone. She turns it over, or she shows it to you. She doesn't hand it in to you. She doesn't know who you are. But she turns it on. You can see it's working fine.
Okay. Kind of eliminates a few things.
Mason.
Mason will tell him, hey, if we have to go to the hospital, like, let's get this over with.
All right. They talk about, they wrap up what they're doing here. One of them goes and talks to the NYPD officer in charge of the scene. Just explains, yeah, we got one en route to Mercy General. We'll be there in a few minutes. The police officer just says, okay, well, make sure he walks over to gives his card to you. Says, yeah, we'll send someone by the hospital, check on you, and make sure that we get your statement. With that, Mason's out of the scene, over to the hospital. Before the scene closes.
Before I leave, I want to access the security system and take screenshots of these dead and alive men that had shot at us.
Now, the cafe has been closed. As you go to enter the cafe, there's police officers there standing guard. So this is an active investigation. We got to control who comes in and out.
Okay.
Do you want to do something else to access that?
Yes, I'd like to see if I can access it through the network.
Marcus speaks to you. I'm in. What do you want?
Just screenshots of the three assailants.
That seems dull. You know I could do a lot more.
I know.
Why don't you let me take the whole network?
Do we need the whole network?
It'd be fun.
I know it would be fun, but we're trying to be more ethical.
Fine. Marcus says to you, I have them. Now that's interesting.
Thank you, Marcus.
That's very interesting. Well, I'm glad that you asked for this.
What's interesting?
Perhaps you should be sitting down before I access the rest of this. Your knees suddenly get weak as you suddenly expend a couple thousand calories of energy. Marcus has done something, and it's drawn a lot of your energy out. You suddenly feel very tired and hungry.
Kind of collapse. A little, go down on that one knee.
Yep. James, Dr. James, you see this happen.
I'll go over to his side, grab him, take his arm.
The scene ends as a very tired Spencer and Dr. James, after giving their statements to the police, make their way to Dr. James' house.
Yeah.
Dr. James, I know it's, you've only met me, but are you sure you don't have something I can maybe just snack on at the house?
I'm sure we can figure something out.
I'm feeling pretty tired. It must have been just a traumatic experience we just went through. In my broken English.
Understandable. I was a bit shaken myself, so I know how you feel.
You're both exhausted as you come through the adrenaline rush fades. A microwave dinner disappears down Spencer. Normally, this is not really to your palate, Spencer, but you're just so hungry.
Well, he's a hungry man, so there's a hungry man in the freezer.
There is a hungry man in the freezer. It's only slightly freezer burned, and you're so hungry
but I
it doesn't
eat it
really
so
matter.
quickly that James is kind of shocked by how, like,
How much you can
are
take
you
that
still
for granted.
hungry?
Yeah.
Like-
How could he still be so hungry? Absolutely. Okay.
Well, since he came back with me to my place, and Mason's not with us because we were going to talk about the stuff that I found, like the camera footage and all that, and I have all the printouts and everything of the vehicles and people or whatever, whatnot. I'll just fill Spencer in, and then we'll fill in Mason after.
Okay. Several hours pass. Mason, when you wake up after a minor surgery, which they did put you under general anesthetics for, make sure that the bullet wound was clean, and clean out the wound and stitch it up. You come to in a comfortable hospital bed. You're hooked up to a few monitoring machines that are just making sure that everything is fine. Your clothes are neatly folded and sitting on a bed nearby or on a chair nearby. The sun is quite a bit lower in the sky now, indicating probably late afternoon. Your phone's sitting on the nightstand, and it looks like somebody has plugged it in, or it's on one of all the nightstands have wireless charging stations on them. It's sitting there, but it doesn't look like it's charging.
I should have had two phones on me. Is the second phone there too?
It's not there.
Oh.
Just the one phone.
Just the work phone.
Yes. The other phone's not there.
Okay.
As you look around, you can see there's someone has their back turned to you. They're looking at something in their hands, but their back is turned to you. They have a medical, what are those called? Scrubs? They're wearing scrubs. Broad shoulders. Like an orderly. Oh, is that what that's called? Like a medical orderly? Like a nurse, essentially.
Almost like
broad shoulders. You can see the lats on this guy. Impressive. Definitely a lifter. He's got something in his hands and he's looking down at it.
Okay, I'm gonna get up.
As he hears you start to move, he turns around and looks at you. And then so as he turns around and looks at you, you can see he has your other phone in his hand. He said, "Well, this is awkward." He says in a gruff voice. "Well, this is awkward."
Yeah, I think that's mine. You better put that down.
You're in no condition to make demands here.
We'll
his hand drops to his waistband. He pulls out a long, thin blade, and he makes a quick step towards you, shoving the blade towards your face.
Okay, I'll jump right into that.
Absolutely. I'm going to take this wound off.
Do you want me to roll
fighting check? This is, I guess it would be a parry, right? Because he's trying to stab you. Let me just do this.
How do I do a parry?
Oh, it's his attack versus your parry.
Oh, sorry, give me 1 second, guys.
Yeah, no worries.
Avery, they found a place.
Oh.
They're on their way home. It's going to require...
Cosign.
Yeah, and so I need you to be ready for that. Because they had like 5 other families behind them.
Okay, I'll be ready. Yep. Sorry about that, guys. I think we're almost to the end of our session, but I'd like to get a few more things done if we can. So he goes. This guy he does this fighting check against you, right? So he's going to. Here's his check. He's going to try to beat your parry, but he only gets a 3. Your parry, Sergeant, is a 6. So he lunges forward with this thin blade, trying to jab it in the side of your neck. You knock his hand away. Over to you.
I want to grab 2 hands, grab that hand, and try to turn it back on him.
Oh, okay. Spin it around quick. Okay. So fighting check. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Success with a raise. You spin that around on him. The knife plunges into his chest. His eyes widen. Let's see here. He's stronger than you anticipate, and he does resist. Oops, 1 second here. It does. He grunts in pain. Oh yeah, he grunts in pain as you can see. You can see the front of his smock starts to stain with blood, but you're unable to get more than about an inch into his chest before his massive muscles kind of repel a little bit against you. He's gonna try to reverse this again. So this is him struggling mightily to try to get the upper hand. Oh, his hands slip as he gets sweaty. The knife plunges deeper into him. Go ahead, Mason. Oof. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep pushing that knife in.
He grunts. He then tries to break away, to run away. You're easily as strong as this guy. Go ahead, Mason. He can't get away. He's unable to, as you're both fighting over this blade that's now almost to the hilt through his chest.
Sweep the legs.
Oh yeah. Oof. He's just able to move his foot out of the way, and his response is to try to push you back over the bed, the bed that you just got out of. So he pushes back. You stumble back over the bed. Go ahead and make a athletics check to maintain your balance. Your legs slip out from underneath you. You fall back over the bed. There's a loud crash as monitoring equipment that's still attached to you is pulled over from when you fall over the bed. As you hit the ground, you can hear sounds of someone rushing out of the room, like the shuffle of him, like stumbling out of the room. There's a shout as the door opens from a nurse crying out in alarm. Mason, your go again.
I'm going to rip out all the stuff that's attached to me.
Yep.
And then I'm going to start chasing him down the hallway.
As you come out and start chasing him down the hallway, you can see he's just making to the end of the hallway where the elevator is. He's smacking calling the elevator as quick as he can.
Okay.
Like a mad. This robe floating over.
Yeah, that's right, Mason. His impressive but semi-naked form as he rushes down the hallway. It looks like you're going to get him just as his doors are starting to open. The elevator doors are just beginning to open, Mason, as you're rushing down towards him. Go ahead and make a check. Whatever you decide.
He's going
People in the crowded hospital hallways kind of screaming and trying to move out of the way. Nurses calling for security.
He's going to... I guess, tackle him.
All right, you hit him from behind.
Run up, full on tackle.
You hit him from behind. He smacks into the opening doors because he's standing right in front of the elevator doors. As you hit him from behind, tackle him, you both tumble into the elevator. Thankfully, the elevator's empty. But as you hit the floor on the elevator, both of you, in a tangle, the elevator doors start to close with the two of you inside.
Perfect.
Okay. He gets to go. He turns around, desperation on his eyes. You can see he has your phone in his hand. He takes your phone and he tries to smash it on the ground, to shatter it. The phone hits the ground, but the case that you had it in seems to be pretty strong, and it bounces as it hits the floor into the air rather than being crushed under his hand. Mason,
All
go.
right. Mason's going to punch him in the throat. Try to punch him in the throat.
You
Spencer,
struggle,
you want
but
some
it's
ice cream?
awkward. The
Yeah.
two of you flailing about. It doesn't work. He reciprocates. This time,
Oh, he does it.
he connects solidly with his fist. That's going to be with a raise. So let's do this.
It's going to hurt.
Oof. Yeah, he hits you 8 damage. So that's going to, I think, what is your toughness?
5.
5.
Because you are shaken. So you get shaken from that, and it's your turn. He hits you
right.
solidly. This big guy, he's built. He's easily got 20 pounds on you of pure muscle.
So I'm dropping it Benny, so I'm not shaking anymore.
You can, before you do that, just out of character, you can always make your vigor check, or spirit check, excuse me.
Oh, do
if
it
you roll
first?
spirit first, because it's a free check on your turn to see if you're unshaken before you spend a Benny.
Okay, I forgot about that.
And you were successful. So you didn't need to spend that Benny. I've already given it back to you.
All right. He's obviously getting this guy's getting the better of him, so he's going to start taking some cheap shots. He's going to go to kick him in the nuts.
It's going to do it. Absolutely. You fight dirty on the ground. Your knee catches him right in the jewels hard. You hear all of the air exit his lungs as he coughs out. He is shaken. He has to do a spirit check. All right, let's see if he can do it. Okay, roll spirit. Oof. He does. No longer shaken. He tries to return the favor. This time he takes an elbow trying to smash your nose in. Connects with the, well, let's see, your parry's a 6.
Yeah.
So he connects, smashes his elbow into your nose. Let's get the damage on that. No raise. He just manages to barely bloody your nose. You're up, Mason.
All right. He's going to try to crawl around him and get him in a chokehold.
Oh, excellent. Here it comes.
Nope.
He's got some grappling
Definitely not.
experience. That didn't work. He then, now as this is going on, the elevator's going down.
Yeah.
As this is happening. He takes another attempt. Again, he's able to get the better of you, Mason. He clocks you up the side of the head. But it's not well, what's your toughness, Mason? Without
5.
a toughness 5, you shrug off the blow as if it's nothing. Now you're getting angry. There's a chime in the elevator. It's reached the ground floor.
Well, it'd be whatever floor it got called to because he didn't
Yes.
have time to hit a button.
Exactly. So wherever it's going to open, it's going to open.
He's going to. I'm going to try to go for that chokehold again.
All right, here it is. This time you do actually get you get his back. You're on his back. Chokehold. He desperately tries to break the hold.
Oh,
Not only does he break the hold, he reverses the hold. He whispers something into your ear as he's done some strange jujitsu nonsense, and he's got behind you now. He's got a thick forearm around your neck. He says, "This isn't over. Night, night." Tries to choke off your air. He's trying to break your neck. Oh, no. You resist it. Your turn.
I'll try to get out of it.
This time, yes, burst of strength. You're out of his chokehold. The doors open. There's a shout of alarm as there's it looks like it looks like a young father with a bouquet of flowers and a little girl in hand heading towards the maternity ward, perhaps. But it is the ground floor as they're both shocked. There's a shout of alarm. The nurses from the station that you just left have obviously called security. You can see 2 security officers rushing towards the elevator. Mason.
I'm going to try to jam my thumb in his wound.
Oof. He cries out in pain.
And I guess that's unarmed.
Yep. Ooh.
He's got no
The pain is so much that he passes out. It's just too much. He passes out and goes limp just as the security guards arrive. All right. The scene changes. The sun low on the horizon. When your eyes flicker open, Spencer, after having a surprisingly deep sleep, a voice in your head wakes you. It's about time. Now can we show you what we found?
Yes.
Or can I show you what we found? He goes, get yourself to a computer screen. I'll bring it over. James, you can hear Spencer stumbling to his feet, having slept on your somewhat still intact couch where only a few of the springs break through.
It's just a futon, you know.
It's really just a futon. It was something thrown away by someone else.
Yeah.
Spencer.
James, you wouldn't happen to have a computer I could use?
Sure. What do you need it for?
Oh, I just need to check my emails.
Okay.
Marcus
provide,
speaks to you again.
Laptop.
Oh, excellent. Jack in.
Do you mind if I just take this back to... Do you have a private room I just got really sensitive emails.
Yeah, there's a bathroom right over there. You know where it is.
Okay. Thank you.
In the
I'll go
bathroom.
into the...
You jack in. There's a large data transfer. You can see it in your vision as it's loading from your head into this laptop. It's a series of video files, close-ups and stills, many of which have been augmented by Marcus to clean up the image. He focuses in on one of the suits that was at the bar. Right before the shooting starts, you see him take out a black stick from his pocket. There's a number of stills on that black stick, and queries that Marcus has put in, theories as to what's going on here. On the stick, you can see he holds the stick in his hand and then nods, and right after he nods, then the shooting starts.
Marcus, do you think this could be a communication device?
It looks like some kind of weapon. I haven't seen anything like this. It's exciting. We should get it.
Are we able to track it throughout the fight and see where it might have went?
Already ahead of you. A folder opens up where you see that he holds the stick up in his hand, or he's holding it in his hand, and then he puts it back in his pocket, drawing his pistol at the same time, turning around and shooting.
Oh.
Looks like he pressed his thumb. He pressed his thumb into it. Looks like there's an image that shows him clearly depressing his thumb into the flat, black, featureless surface of this stick, and then turning around.
So it must be still on his body then. We don't have any other images of that stick after that?
I sure do. He pulls up an image which shows Mason holding the stick in his hand. We should get it. I really want it.
I'd like to know what it is.
Well, so would I.
Well, let's devise a plan to get it without suspicion.
Agreed. Sooner the better, Mason says. I am monitoring your blood glucose levels. You better eat again.
I am pretty hungry.
James, your phone rings. It's the hospital calling.
Okay. Hello.
Yes, this is Mercy General. We had you as a contact person for Mason Collins. You better get over to the hospital there. There's been an incident.
Okay, I'm on my way.
Just as you're
And
putting
I'll
your coat
start
on, your phone.
Banging on the bathroom door.
Oh,
Not
this is
banging,
it.
but,
Oh, hold on. I'm saying phone, but your phone was cooked. The company phone was cooked. So it was your personal phone?
Probably. I mean, I would have a work and a personal,
Okay.
just like everybody else would, I think.
Yeah, it's your personal that's ringing. You also get an email at the same time. Comes through on your personal.
Ring and ding. Or,
The email just says this. There's someone coming to your apartment. Get out now.
I'm glad I checked.
It would
my
have
email
come
every
to
5
his
minutes.
laptop as well.
Mm-hmm. You
Okay.
get that email notification on the laptop. Warning. There's someone. And then Marcus says something. Well, that's interesting. And then the scene closes.
Okay.
All right. So we good. That's probably a good place to call it. That's probably a good place to call it.
Yep.
Were you okay with that, guys? All right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good. So feedback from that session. What did you enjoy? What would you change? We'll start with you, Ken. What did you like about it? What would you change?
I quite enjoyed that we all pretty much stayed into character.
I thought so. Yeah. I thought you did great.
I think
really
it,
did.
it flowed quite well, especially when you do stay in character.
One thing I found,
Because
tell me what you feel about this, Ken. I found, like, when I was running just the combat with Clay and the hitman in the hospital, it seemed to be more immersive than when we were doing it in the diner. Do you know what I mean?
Fluid. It was more fluid. Actually, I liked it because it's like I could just see them like a little ballet of fighting, going on, just like you would see in a movie or whatever,
Yeah.
So that's actually good. And I was saying to myself the same thing. If he's going for the elevator, the fight's going to be on the elevator. So I was like, that was actually pretty cool how it played out.
Yeah, I was sitting here going, tackle him. Come on, tackle him.
Yeah, me too. And then when he had the chokehold, when he had you in the chokehold, I was going to say, just grab his
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
grab his jewels,
Well,
like
Clay, we're talking about something that happened with Mason. What was your takeaway from that session? What worked well? What was a little more challenging?
Well, I mean, it's the same thing as the last session too, where when we get into stuff, sometimes not having the map and just running with it made for that more fluid combat.
Yeah, I found that too. For sure. I was there was a couple times where I'm like, I'm in this map and I'm, man, this is a struggle. I feel like we could just be so much faster if it was just going,
And
the theater of the mind, it does help you do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're already looking ahead. Because you got to imagine ahead and imagine what the diner kind of looked like. But my idea of the diner might look a little different from Clay's or John's.
Yeah.
But it still work out the same.
That's a good point.
Direction.
Yeah, that's a good point, Ken. Does it really matter if your exact, like, where the stools are isn't the same as where, John
Everybody
thinks the
knows
stools
what a
are?
diner kind
It's
of
just a
looks
diner,
like.
yeah.
That kind of happened on Tuesday, right? When we were at the table and I was thinking that like with Garrett's Landing, that the church was we're in the church, and if I looked to the right or to the left, that's where the warehouses were. But no, it was the other way around.
Yeah.
So I was thinking totally different. Right?
But in the end, it didn't really make a difference, did it?
No,
Like
it
was
didn't.
like,
No, nope.
doesn't really
it didn't
matter.
make a difference at all. Other
Yeah.
than like combat locations, as far as cover and stuff like that, that kind of makes,
it just seemed.
has a,
I mean, correct me if you have a different impression. I'd like to hear it. But it seemed to me that having the actual battle map, it seemed more awkward than what we
I
were
think
just
it slowed
doing.
down a little bit.
It seemed to
Yeah,
slow things down.
It feels more restrictive as well.
It does.
Because, I could
Yeah.
go, well, I dive towards the cleaning cupboards,
Mm-hmm.
and I open them up.
Yeah.
And luckily I find a shotgun in there. You could still add those things.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it's more of the theater of the mind and what you think would be in a diner.
Right.
Yeah. I think the map is good just to give us an idea of what the layout is.
So
And then
maybe
we don't have
even
to
if it
do
was
the
just a
minis
flash.
or anything like
you know
that
what? That's
or
probably
whatever.
a good. That's
We
actually
don't
that's
have
really
to do
good
the board
suggestion,
and
John.
move everybody around.
What
We
we
just do
could- what
theater
I
of the
could
mind,
do-
but with a map.
Exactly. What I could do is I could just say like, here's the map, right? Like just show the
Yeah.
without
You don't-
actually
you don't have to put us in there.
like
just
even
say,
if
yeah,
we just
we-
went. I wonder if that would work. I wonder if we just went with the like. So if all I did was I just said here's the diner. Let me just find my diner here. It's Vinny's. There it is. Vinny's
to
Diner.
just kind of get our like locations of where we are on the map, and then we can
Yeah,
go from
like
there.
if I just say,
We
well,
don't have
here's
to
your
be on
starting
the map.
location, and then we don't like I just wonder if it would have been if it worked just as well, if not better, to just say, well, here's where we start, right? I wonder if that.
Some visuals don't hurt, right? It helps.
So like just
And
starting
that's-
it off and saying, okay, here's where everybody is. But then the danger with this would be like, okay, so I'm going over. I mean, I guess if we have it just as a reference, then everyone can be referencing it without actually moving your tokens around. Like you could just say, yeah, I'm going to go over here and go over there.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to the left side of the counter.
I just my thinking
I'm gonna
behind it
jump
was
down
I wanted to show it as an ambush. Like there was an ambush coming from the outside, and then there was two on the inside, and it was kind of this.
Yeah.
It was a multi-prong attack. So story wise, or what's developed here? So you met with Jessica at the diner. She had received one of these mysterious text messages to be there. That she needed to be there. Then she recognized someone that had come in. She was terrified about it for a moment, and then all hell broke loose. There was
It
this.
sounds like she's a puppet too.
Yeah.
Based on that description.
Yeah, you learned that she's also being manipulated over the last several months. You also learned a bit of a motivation for her, that she's trying to get to the bottom of a death that she says should not have happened, where her brother was killed in an autonomous vehicle accident, where supposedly he had taken control of the vehicle and then immediately drove in headfirst into another transport vehicle and was killed instantly. And she's trying to find out why. So that you kind of got her motivation, why she's in the picture. You found this stick. You found that these guys that obviously have a lot of money for just common hitmen, and the one that was carrying this strange black plastic stick, which Mason has or had, because he hasn't. I mean, he put it in his boots, but all of his clothes and everything were there. But Mason did hide the drive back at the diner.
We don't know that though.
No, Mason knows that.
Mm-hmm.
Only Mason knows that.
And Spencer might have an idea.
Spencer might have an idea because Marcus has done a thorough forensic on all of the monitoring equipment in the diner. But then again, he did this in the bathroom, so I'm not sure that he would know.
No camera.
Yeah. This isn't that
No
kind of
cameras in the
diner.
bathroom.
No cameras in the bathroom. Not this one. This isn't one of those.
I would know that he had it at one point.
Potentially, if he took it out, but while he was visible by any of the cameras. If he didn't, then the best Marcus can do is could say it looks like he had something in his pocket and now he doesn't have it in his pocket.
Yeah.
So that's where
Somebody else has it.
So the scene kind of closes with the Mason having survived another attempt on his life, this time in the hospital, and the two of you being warned that there's someone that you need to get out of the apartment now.
We're going to take the fire escape. We're not going to go down the hall,
Okay.
down the stairs or whatever. But
Well, thanks, guys. I had a good time. I hope you did too. It was fun.
Good.
I do think that our next session, if I do show the traditional battle map, I'm not going to try to run combat on the battle map. I think it works just so much better when, Clay, you were just telling me what you're doing, and then I was responding, and then I was telling you what the enemy was doing, and then you're responding. I think it just kind of flows better. The downside with that is if we're not doing the initiative thing, then you're not getting cards, which means you don't get the Joker. So that I guess we have to figure out a way of doing
we can
that.
Still do initiative, I guess. That's okay.
So we could do initiative, even if it's just running on the combat tracker instead of going on the. That's a good suggestion, John. I'll try that for
initiative.
Next time.
Is good because it helps the person plan, like, okay, this is what I want to do before it's my turn.
That's true.
So
now,
like if I'm sitting here like, oh, I'm third,
absolutely.
So I can figure out what I want to do.
That's true. It does give you a bit of time to strategize. However, that can also be a bit of a downside because the environment will change between then and now. Like, so if now is your turn, and your turn is 3, let's say you're 4th on the order.
True.
Well, everything can change by the time it gets to you, right? So if you pre-planning it, in some ways I agree is really good because then you're ready. In some ways, it's a bit restricting because then you're not able to just be spontaneous in the moment, and the spontaneity in the moment is really driven by you being in character, which I thought everyone really made good effort for that. That was good. So, anyway. Thanks, guys. Really glad that everyone could make it.
You.
It's been a while since we were able to get everybody together. So you do get one advance from the session. So we haven't been doing that very well, but this is kind of our first full-fledged session. So everyone will get one advance. You don't have to worry about choosing that now. You can do that later, but or think about how you want to advance, what skill you want to improve, or what have you. And then we'll hopefully be able to take this up again in a couple of weeks and see what happens next. So that'd be great.
Perfect.
Thanks, gentlemen. Appreciate your time. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Yes, you too.
Always good to hang out with you guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys. That was great. Really appreciate
Ken,
it.
do you want to ride on Tuesday?